Hi there. In this lesson, we will review the main rules for count and non-count noun use. Remember, nouns describe people like doctor, teacher, student, lawyer, places such as school, work, bank, restaurant, and things like water, sun, love, textbook. For example, in these sentences, we have several nouns. They're underlined in yellow. What's important about nouns is actually there are two types, countable and non-countable nouns. For short, we'll call them count and non-count nouns. With count nouns, that means we can use a, an, one, and numbers because these items are able to be counted. But with non-count nouns, we can't use numbers. They cannot be counted. With count nouns, if you have more than one, then we have to use the plural forms by adding s, es, or ies. Let's review some rules for making plural nouns. Here, V means vowels, which are the letters A, E, I, O, and U, and C represents consonants, which are all the other letters in English. To make most nouns plural, we simply add an S, such as ants, desks, seasons, cars. If there is a vowel and Y, we just add S, like essays, boys, keys, and toys. If we have a word with a vowel and O, we just add S. For example, zoos, videos. If a noun ends in a consonant plus Y, we need to change the Y to I and then add ES, such as libraries, countries, babies, ladies. Words that end in sh, ch, s, and x need es added. For example, boxes, buses, matches, and taxes. Words that end in a consonant and o, we add es, like heroes, potatoes, and zeros. But there are also irregular plural nouns that do not follow these patterns, such as children, men, women, mice, and feet. Non-count nouns like these are a little different. Because count nouns are countable, we can use numbers, but we cannot count rice or air, so we can't use numbers in front of non-count nouns. Most non-count nouns fall into a few categories, like very small things that are too difficult to count alone, gases, things you study in school, things that make up the whole of a group of items. Other categories include activities, such as things you do for fun, as well as diseases and abstract ideas. But how do you know if a noun is countable or uncountable? The best way is to check an English dictionary. Nowadays, you can find several free ones online. When you look at the dictionary, next to the listing for noun, you should see a note about whether or not the noun is countable. The reason knowing whether a noun is countable or not is important is because it can affect which verb you choose. The subject, which is often a noun, needs to agree with the verb. What that means is when you have a singular subject, it must agree with a singular verb. When you have a plural subject, you must use a plural verb. What that means is for single count nouns as well as non-count nouns, we need to use singular verbs. With plural count nouns, use plural verbs. But because non-count nouns don't have a plural form, we can't use the plural verb with non-count nouns. In this lesson, we reviewed the main rules for count and non-count noun use.